So I came out here on the river to try to get some peace and quiet, clear my head, get away from everything for a little while. There's a lot on my mind right now, and I'm not exactly sure what I should say, but I feel like I gotta say something. So I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that already have me labeled as some kind of a crazy person or conspiracy theorist or tinfoil hat wearer or whatever. I don't care. It's irrelevant. The situation we're in right now is a military operation. It's a worldwide psychological operation. It's definitely not what we think it is or what they're leading us to believe it is. I don't think 5G is causing a virus. I think, at worst, it's probably exacerbating any kind of health conditions, including coming down with a virus. But I don't think that has really much to do with the end game here. I mean, the government doesn't have to declare martial law on a federal level. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you're already under martial law. It's a military operation, all of it. And the virus is just part of it. The government never lets a good crisis go to waste. You might say, well, what do you know about it anyway? You're just a dude. Well, I won't say too much, but those people who know me, and there are a few out there that do, that really know me, and know me personally, know that a little more than a month after 9/11, in October of 2001, immediately after they passed the Patriot Act, they suspended the writ of habeas corpus, and under the guise of all kinds of ridiculous, trumped-up charges, no pun intended, but trumped-up charges, they rounded up a lot of people around the country, Americans. And because of the Patriot Act, as I said, with the writ of habeas corpus suspended, they were able to hold people indefinitely without a trial. And so that's kind of what happened to me. I spent 352 days, 19 hours a day to 22 hours a day on average, in solitary confinement on a federal detention order with no trial. Prior to that, from about the mid-90s on up to 2001, I was what you would call, I guess you would call, a patriot. I carried a Constitution in my pocket. I believed in the principles of individual freedom and liberty that I thought our founding fathers also believed. I loved my country. I carried a gun everywhere. I mean, I was open carrying before it was cool. Prior to 2001, when I went into jail, we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have YouTube or any of those kind of social media outlets like we do now to share our beliefs or our thoughts on things, and trying to get people to open their eyes and realize that the government was very corrupt, and taxation is theft, and in the way that it's being collected, it's theft. Taxation isn't really theft. It's just, it's part of the price you pay in a society to have government. essentially, for those of you who believe you have to have government. I've come a long way since 2001. I used to consider myself a staunch Republican conservative. And then as time went on, by the late 90s, I considered myself more of a libertarian. And then shortly after getting out of being locked up, after a year, I decided that I'm not even a libertarian. What I am, I guess, would be considered an anarcho-capitalist. I don't believe that the government is good at all. And frankly, as a Christian, I don't believe we're under their authority. Once they take a nickel out of your paycheck without your consent and use it for some of the evil things that everybody knows that they use it for, there's no argument there. The government is evil, and we don't have an authority to obey them. I believe the authority that we are subject to obeying as far as God is concerned is a righteous government, at the very least. Maybe not a Christian government, a secular government, but when they become unrighteous and they become murderers and criminals, I don't think we're under an obligation to obey them. But that's neither here nor there. Doesn't matter, because if you don't obey, you're getting locked up, or worse. I mean, in America today, we live in a police state. When you are confronted with the powers that should not be without your consent, you basically have three options: obey and comply, or be beaten and tased and arrested, or murdered and jailed. That's it. That's all you got. So yeah, that's it. Submit, get kidnapped, and thrown in jail or killed. That's pretty much it today. But anyway, I didn't even want to go on and on about that. Mostly I just felt like I should say something about the current situation we're in. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there and just say that this virus is just part of something much, much bigger. And there's definitely some bad vibes in the air right now. I have my suspicions. And I think right now is a time that you should probably consider being prepared for the worst, hope for the best. Things are going to get really ugly soon, I think. I hope I'm wrong. But I kind of feel like something else is at play, and I know I'm not really being direct or just coming right out and saying anything, but you might want to go back and watch a Red Dawn or something. Because things are going to get crazy up in this country and around the world. They already are, I know. The economy's pretty well wrecked. We're not feeling it yet. Some of you are, but you ain't seen nothing yet. And I think it's just going to come down to a matter of ridding ourselves of this notion that the government is there to help you and that the government can be trusted, because they've proven time and time again that they cannot. You are your own first line and last line of defense in any situation. You can't operate from a position of fear. Once you operate from a position of fear, or really any emotion, you make long-term, permanent decisions based on short-term, temporary emotions. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Things are going to get really ugly.